Hello, my name is Mark Pricco, President and Founder of Atom Software, and I will be doing a presentation today on our new feature, ATOMPay. So to begin, I'm going to switch it over to the next. I'm going to take myself off on the camera so you can see more of the page. So I'm going to give you a brief history of ATOMPay. Where did it come from? Why is it here? So we used it last year at XTax. XTax is the name of our tax business. That if you know the history behind Atom Software, you'll know that we also are running a tax business too named XTax. So we use the terminals, which will demonstrate. They're little credit card terminals that you can tap and pay and use your phone to pay. We were looking for that last year as an option to help us process payments in our tax office. We couldn't find it with our current provider through authorize.net, so we had to go elsewhere, and we went to a new gateway and built that. We still had to have the old online payments with authorize.net, so we basically were running two different platforms, but we felt it was worthwhile because we really wanted the terminals to help streamline things, and so we actually used 11 of them in our office last year. So they were at everybody's workstation, worked great. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So, but we didn't want going forward, and we offered that we showed this to you during the spring updates in 2024. Some of you took us up on it and requested the terminals. But we knew we wanted more. We wanted to go beyond that and not just give you that. We wanted to have everything in one place and all in one solution, just like Atom Software. So one processing platform as opposed to us using two different gateways, using our new gateway that we just discovered, and then also authorize.net. So to do this, we had to go out and find a credit card processing partner. So we found Echelon, formerly EPSG, that was able to offer this to us. And then we also became the reseller of ATOMPay. So as opposed to us going through a third party to do this, like maybe Bases or EPS or authorize.net, we decided to take it in-house because we weren't getting the service that we needed and expected. For us to have to go out and actually find a terminal and actually integrate the terminal, we felt like that should have taken place with our partner, who is our reseller, should have been offering these products to us because this is what we needed, but we actually had to go out and find it ourselves. So we said, you know what, we're doing all the work. We know exactly what we need. We know how to do it. So we're going to just go ahead and take it all over and put it all in-house with Atom Software. And then by partnering with Echelon, that allowed it all to happen. The next slide here. So why choose ATOMPay? So the services you get with ATOMPay: online payments, just what you're accustomed to. The client can pay through the portal. You can accept payments in your office. They could call in and do a payment. ACH payments, similar to what you're doing now. Recurring payments, again, similar to what you're doing now. Credit and ACH, just doing a different platform. Instead of using authorize.net, you're going to use our new gateway. Credit card terminals, that is not what you're doing now unless you're doing it where it's not integrated. So we want the integrated credit card terminal. So I hit a button in Atom, the fee goes to the terminal, client taps it, it goes right back into Atom. Right now, if you're using a credit card terminal, I'm pretty sure you're hand keying in the fee, processing the payment, and then you have to manually then record that somewhere in Atom if you're using Atom to track your payments. So that's not the way to go. We want it integrated. So tap and go, Apple Pay, Google Pay, payment links. This is something that we were, provided with Echelon as a payment processor partner. So now we can email and text the payment link to the client as opposed to them having to pay on the portal. So if they always use the portal, they're probably going to continue to use the portal and make their payment. That's just fine. If you have clients that don't want to go to the portal to make payment, now you can send them an email and text and they can go ahead and pay, and it goes right back into the file. In the client file, it records the payment. And I'm going to demonstrate all of this. Surcharging, if you want to pass on the credit card fee, ACH fee to the client, you can do that. You could kind of do that last year, or actually a couple of years with Atom. It works better now. It's more in compliance with your states. If your states vary whether you can do this or not, and you need to check with your state to see if you actually can do a surcharge. Some states don't allow it, some do. To get around it, if they do deny you doing a surcharge, you could do what's called dual pricing cash discount. So as long as you display what the cost is for cash, you can charge them a different rate for the card. So that's kind of how it went. And this ATOMPay allows for all this. And I'm going to demonstrate that. E-receipts, the client can get an e-receipt, basically an email and a text receipt. You can brand it with your company logo. It's very nice, quick, no extra charge for the text or email. Simple pricing. So the fee for this, it's 2.75% plus a $19.95 monthly fee for cards. ACH would be 0.75%, which is like under 1%, plus a $9 monthly fee. So we try to do a simple pricing model for you guys so you can figure this out, what it would cost you. And for the most part, this rate is probably less than what you're paying now. But you got to look beyond just what you're paying now and just see what you're getting. So this is all, we did all this to actually make things more efficient in your office for a payment process. I mean, it works great in our office. It's going to work great in your office too. And then how we're partnered with Echelon as opposed to, Authorize.net. I wouldn't say we were partnered with them. We were integrated with them, but they had no idea who we were. Echelon's working with us. They're allowing us to make things better. They're offering us payment options that we never knew we could do. And of course, now you have the in-house support. Now Atom Software is taking this over. So, I mean, obviously, Echelon is going to support it too, 24/7 support, but you can also call us to help with the payment processing. If we don't have the answer, we would then forward you on to Echelon. It's integrated. Obviously, everything we're doing is going to be integrated with Atom Software. It's not like you have a credit card terminal now that doesn't talk to your software. Any kind of payment processing will talk to Atom Software. Now, the reoccurring payments, that's what we're working on right now to have the integration. So as of right now, that would be, you'd set that up on the portal that we'd provide to you, not a client portal like Atom's client portal. It'd be it's called an iPOS portal. And that's basically the gateway, kind of just like Authorize.net. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this. So let me lower this down. So I go into balance. So I'm inside a client file here. Client owes me $1. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate to you is the online payments. So this would be if a client is in my office and I'm not using the credit card terminal and they want to process the payment. So they can either probably hand me the card and I'd have to hand key it in. So this is something you don't want to do probably. You'd rather use a credit card machine. But if you had to, you'd come inside the file here in the transactions, select ATOMPay, select online payment. So we have the dollar amount is $1 and $1.03 is because I have a 3% convenience charge being charged or a credit card charge. This is actually set up for the dual pricing. I'll show you how that works. So I hit next. So now the payment page will pop up and I have both ACH. So right now I could ask the client, would you rather do ACH and there's no additional fee, or do you want to do $1.03 for, 3% charge for credit cards? So whatever they do, I hit the breakout, payment option breakup here. I can see the convenience fee right here. And let me go back to ACH. So if I were to fill this out, all it's asking me for is a routing number, account number, first name, last name. The other fields you don't really need to fill out if they're not required. You see the little asterisk there with the card. Looks like you need everything. This phone number and email is being pulled from Atom in here because now we're going to send this person an e-receipt. So you don't actually have to give the client a receipt if you just choose not to. So I'm gonna go ahead and show a process of payment. I select the card. I'm gonna hit pay now, $1.03. Now it's gonna go ahead and record. It's gonna pre-fill it in my Atom for this client. Hit OK. So now if you look right here, here's the payment credit, ATOMPay virtual credit card payment, the last four, 2063. As you notice, the convenience fee didn't get recorded and the payment and that's because we haven't been able to push that to production yet. When you get this, it will work, just so you know that. But you see the payment was automatically recorded. Now the client, if I go to my email here, there's the receipt coming from X-Tax, receipt, thanks for your payment. I click on view the receipt, and there it is. So it got your logo on it. Looks like a nice paper receipt, but it's actually a virtual receipt. Close this. Go back here. I'm going to delete this. Oops. And now I'm going to demonstrate the online payment through the client portal. So this is what your clients are going to be doing. They're doing it already, but this is how it's going to look with ATOMPay. So to get to the client portal, I'm going to go up to my dashboard, and this is a new change coming this fall. I can actually get to the client portal from inside the client file. So I'm on the client portal, balance due $1. I click on the link. This should look very familiar to you. So now it says pay now, as opposed to before it said pay by card, pay with e-check. Now it's just going to say pay now. And then again, I'm going to have my convenience fee so the client can select next. And now it's going to display the exact same page. $3 if they do card, it's $1 if they do ACH. No different. I'm going to go ahead and pay this. So I'm doing this all from the client portal. Pay now. So when they pay, you're going to get inside Atom on the home page, just like you do with the client portal. It'll say that they paid confirmation. I hit OK. This is the client doing this. So now I come back over here, refresh my page. Now my balance is 0. My payment of $1. And again, the convenience fee will display once we push this to production. And then the client on their side, there's another e-receipt. So that's how it works. So online payments, you can pay inside, the client's doing it. The employee is doing it. The client portal, the client would be making the payments. All right, let me close the portal here. I'm going to go back into the client file. I'm going to delete the $1 out again. Delete. Next form of payment they can do is send payment links. So we can do email and text. So the way I'm thinking this will work in our office, because we use, the credit card terminal, we use client portal. Client may call in and say, hey, I'd like to pay over the phone. Instead of having the receptionist key this in, I can just send them an email and text and have the client key it in. Save everybody time, and it's more secure. Send payment link. I hit next. Excuse me. I select OK. So the email and the text went to the client to pay. So I'm going to go to my email. There it is right there. It's called e-invoice, coming from the company X-Tax. I view it. Now it wants me to pay $3. Again, the exact same page. They can pay $1 with ACH, or they do $3 by card. I select it. Pay now. And now it's going to process. It's going to say, thank you for your payment. And I'll get an e-receipt again, just like I did before, approved. And again, once we get the convenient fee working properly in production, it's fixed. It's just a matter of us pushing it. It would then say that full dollar amount here. I can close this. I go back into my client file, refresh the page, and now I have the $1 recorded. And that client will get that e-receipt like we showed before. Okay, the next form is going to be by text. So I'm going to have, this is display this. Let me run this. We had to do this because obviously I can't show it how a text is on my phone. I'm using the computer, so I'm going to play this. So this is actually pulling Atom up on your phone, which hopefully you guys use the mobile version. So now I'm in John Casey's file, has a balance of $326. I'm going to click on balance, and I think there's a current year 175, a link client 150, and other year $1. I'm going to go click on ATOMPay, send payment link. And there's my convenience fee. Then I hit next. This is going to go to my phone now. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate how it is by text. So I hit OK. There it is, the text coming through on my phone. Now I'm going to click on this page to go pay it. So there's my link on my phone. I click on the link. It's going to pop up the exact same page we've been seeing. I have the option of paying by card or ACH. You know the difference. The card, ACH is just the cash amount. Those are the fields I would fill out. Has some information about the terms and conditions for ACH. And now I have the breakout of the convenience fee right there. And then if I'm not going to record the card in here, but if I did, it would process just like we've been doing. So let me pull that back away here. Lastly, we have terminal payment. Okay, so if I want to pay, if the client's sitting in front of me and they want to pay with the card, I just did one this morning. They paid actually with their phone. They just used Apple Pay, tapped it. But I'm going to demonstrate here. Again, I can't get the card in this webinar, so I'm in the terminal. So I'm going to actually demonstrate this with a video. 1 second here as I pull this up. Go back, and it's right here. Start from the beginning. So I'm inside of Atom, so you'd have a client sitting at your desk. I select John Casey here. Go into their file, there's a balance due of 152. And it looks like it's from a prior, but the current year is $1. So I hit ATOMPay, then I'm gonna hit terminal payment. Then I'm gonna unselect the multi-year, just focus on the current year. It's going to terminal 5. There you see that device, receipts customer, and I hit send payment. Now it's going over to the machine, so that $3 is going over to the machine. I'm going to then tap it. It's processing. Now I can either get a text, email receipt, or I can print a receipt. So I'm going to print a receipt. You see how fast that receipt's printed? So much faster than if you print a receipt inside of Atom. And then you hit OK. And now that gets recorded inside the client file. In this case, the convenient feed did work, but that's how you use process the terminal. So again, 3 ways: online payment, send payment link, and terminal payment. Now let me go back to make sure I cover everything here. 1 second. Oh, 1 minute here. Okay, so what are the next steps? So what do I do next? How do I get ATOMPay, right? You're all excited and you're saying, okay, let's sign up. So we're going to send out an ATOMPay questionnaire. So you should have this already. Just fill that out. It's about 10 questions. It's just a way of us determining what your payment needs are. So once we know that, we can then, contact you and make suggestions what we think you should do. If you want a terminal, or if you use a terminal, or if you're a virtual office, you don't need a terminal, that's fine. We just would have online payment for you, and you can process payments in-house over the computer, or you can have your clients do it on the portal. So then you sign up for the service, and then we send it to Echelon, and it usually takes about 7 to 10 business days to complete the whole application process with their underwriters, and then we have you up and running. So the sooner you do this, the better, because obviously there is the little need because of what authorized.net did. So with them forcing us to a different platform, otherwise spend months trying to integrate with them, and I don't think that's the solution we want. Echelon offers a lot more than authorized.net did, and they're willing to work with us and partner with us. I don't think they would ever do anything like authorized.net did, giving us less than 30-day notice, to try to make this integration change. I mean, we're talking to Echelon all the time. We're actually a partner, whereas at Authorize.net, we were nothing to them. Okay, and that's why they treated us like that when we received that email last week. So for questions, what I want to do is go over some questions that some people have written in. Very good questions. So one is surcharging. So we mentioned surcharging. You know, what is that? That's a way of trying to recoup the cost, this 2.75% or the monthly fee. You can pass that on to your client, so you're actually not out any money. So with ATOMPay, we've made it easy to do that. So one, you don't look like the bad guy. You have the ACH they can select where they don't pay anything. And then you go card for convenience for them. They go ahead and do that, and they're going to be hit with a little bit of fee. Now, this is, you can turn this on or off. This is up to you if you want to do this or not. Some people are like, no, I don't need to. I've already built it into my tax prep fee. Others are saying, yeah, I'd like to do that. Okay, so you can do that with credit card and ACH. If in the state they don't allow surcharging, we can use what's called dual pricing. So as long as you display the cash amount and the card amount, so they can make a decision of what they want to do, which you do, it's considered a cash amount. If you do the ACH, we can do that. It also displays it on the terminal too. So if I pass it over to the terminal, it'll show this is what it is by card. This is what it is if you were to pay with cash. So that was one of the questions. Question two, how much do these terminals cost? You know, what are these terminals? So let me show you something here. If I go to my website, if you go to document downloads, here you can see the ATOMPay brochure. Here's an ATOMPay terminal. So the terminal we just displayed, it's called a P1 countertop deja vu terminal. This is kind of what it looks like. The cost of this is $215. There's also a $10 gateway fee, monthly fee, and that's just allowing that machine to talk to Atom. That's what the gateway fee is all about. So if you ever have any integration, there has to be a gateway to provide that integration. Of course, they're going to charge a fee. We used this terminal last year. Again, we had 11 of them. We just sold it to one of our Atom clients. They bought 17, so they topped us. Worked great. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. I mean, we love the print receipt that's allowed there, so the client can print the receipt off so we don't have to. So basically, you can send it over there. You can walk out, assemble the tax return. They can process the payment. You come back in, get your signatures, and you're done. So it's convenient. It's what your clients want. It's what they're used to everywhere other than in your tax office where they can tap and go. And it's quick. So this is what the young people want. If you want to buy more than one terminal, the additional, it's still $215 per terminal, but then it's $7 for the gateway fee or anything additional. So 10 for the first terminal is a gateway fee, 7 for the other, then that's a monthly fee. Minimize this. Pull this back up. QuickBook integration. So with our partner with the gateway, which is called iPOS, just like Authorize.net, ours is called iPOS. You can have QuickBook integration with that. So you could have the transactions processing, your ACH and your credit card transactions. You can then have them so it's automatically going over with the online QuickBooks, so through an API. Reoccurring payments. As I said, those are also on the portal, the iPOS portal, just like Authorize.net. You would set those up. It's all secure where you have this, PCI compliant where you're storing the cards. Our goal is to have it where it's integrated with Atom. That would be, we're hoping for a winter release for that. And we're working with Echelon to make that happen. So we'll keep you posted. But otherwise, right now, it would work the same way you're doing right now with Authorize.net. Excuse me. There's many reports in these iPOS portal, just like Authorize.net. So you can easily reconcile your bank statement if you're doing, daily transactions. That's not a problem. Next day funding. So if you want next day funding, as long as you batch by 11 o'clock that night, it will be in your bank account the next day. That's what we call accelerated funding. If you want that, there is a $5 monthly fee for that to have it next day. Otherwise, it would be 2 days. It'd be the other day. So it's usually the normal, the average. I mean, the norm is 2 days. If you want next day, it's an extra $5 per month. For ACH, there is no next day funding for ACH because there's too many banks involved. That's typically about 48-hour turnaround, kind of dependent a little bit on how quickly your bank puts it in your account too. For fees, so these 2.75% fee, you can either have that netted. So say if you charge a client $100 and you batch out, that fee would automatically come out of the 100. So say it's like $98 or something, or $97.50. Okay, is what you'd see in your bank account. You can do that, or you can have, you get the full amount, and then at the end of the month, you're going to get a fee taken out from your, a direct debit from your bank account, which is the credit card fee. So then you could easily tie into what you're being charged as a credit card fee. So that's what most people want to do. It's whatever you prefer, called end of the month or netting. A few more questions here. What terminals are allowed? So the P1 terminal is what we recommend, just because we've seen 8 or 9 terminals in front of us, and we tested them all, and we said the P1 terminal, which is what we used, is the best one. That was the brochure I said. There is some other, any Deja Vu terminal, if you Google it, Deja Vu credit card machines, it pops up. If you see one you like, they all will work because it's all integrated with Atom to that iPOS portal. But just from experience, the P1 terminal is the best one to go with. Again, it's not perfect, but it's better than anything that they've offered. Funding turnaround, got that. Let's see. Can you not use it and have things work? Okay, so the question is obviously authorize.net. What authorize.net did, right? So as you probably got an email from them because you're an authorized.net user, or you got the email from us last Friday explaining what happened. So they had to do that because for security reasons, they had to change their, as they call it, API, which means the integration. And it's not just happening with Atom, it's with anybody who's integrated with authorized.net. So October 24th, our integration will no longer work with them. So what does that mean to you if you don't switch to ATOMPay? Is that you just wouldn't be able to process payments through Atom anymore. You can still go off to the authorized.net, portal or whatever you want to call it, the login, and you can process payments that way. So just like I wouldn't say just like you've been doing, but you could have done that all along. It's just, but obviously you choose to go through Atom because it's simpler and the payment automatically feeds right into Atom. But on October 25th, unless authorized.net changes anything, but we won't know until that date comes. But what they told us is the payments will not work anymore through Atom. Todd, rules for upcharges per state. We mentioned that. Check with your state for surcharging. Make sure you can do that. If you're not allowed, you can always do the dual pricing. Just let us know when we fill out the application. You can always change anything too. So if you're like, you sign up for a credit card processing with ATOMPay, and then you're like, oh, I'd really like to have a terminal, we can always add that. Or you want a surcharge later, we can add that. ACH later, we can add that. That's not a problem. American Express, yes, American Express is accepted. Cards from other countries are also accepted. Processing in France, not a problem. The rates for ACH, I showed you on that. I think that's the setup timeline for ATOMPay. I'm just reading through some questions that some people wrote in. Again, once we get your paperwork into Echelon, it's usually a 7 to 10 day turnaround. Again, the first step is fill out that questionnaire. That helps us know what you want, and then we'll send you some other documents to send us. We're going to have you do that all through the client portal. Some of the things, if you want to get ready, is we're going to need a couple months of bank statements. Credit card statements for the year of 2024 would be great. Just shows how you're processing, and a utility bill with your company name on it, a voided check, and a photo ID. So kind of the same things when you signed up with your credit card processor before, if that was EPS or authorized.net or Bases, same type of thing. It's exactly the same. It's just you're switching. So I know sometimes change is hard. This is change. This is good change. Just like when we released all the updates last year, which was a big one for Adam with the new look and everything, a lot of you guys screamed and hollered. Some of the people said this is amazing. Okay, it's going to be the same thing with ATOMPay, but once you start using it, it's a lot simpler to adapt to this than it was all the changes we did with Atom software last year. So this is very simple. As you saw, I just demonstrated it. You just click down, say online payment or pay with terminal. It's not hard. So once you actually get it in your office or whatever you decide to do, if you're not getting a terminal, it's almost identical to what you've been doing. And the payment link is just one extra thing you have. You don't have to use it. It's going to be there. If you click it, it works. If it doesn't, we already had a receptionist use it last week. I didn't even train her how to do it. She just did it. And the client paid. It was pretty amazing. So all these features we're providing to you, as it says, the better way to get paid. It's more convenient for the client. It's actually going to be more convenient for you. It's going to be quicker for you, quicker for the client. It's forward thinking. So that's what we want. That's what Atom's all about, is to keep pushing forward with the latest technology. Okay, so that's why we had to go searching elsewhere. Just like Twilio for texting. Hopefully you guys are using that. We're partnered up with Twilio. We're not partnered. Again, they're like an authorized.net. They don't probably even know who we are, but we're integrated with them. So to offer you texting. So now we're integrated with Echelon, but we are partnered too, which is even better. So we can offer this amazing payment processing, which we couldn't do through authorized.net. So again, I understand change, but if you've been with Adam for a few years, you know that's all we do is change, because in my mind, change is good. Okay, that's how we get better and get more efficient in your office. So if you have any questions, contact us via text, email, through the portal, probably preferable through the portal. It's, as you know, it's easier to stay organized that way. And then hopefully we'll have you up and running soon. And again, a quick, excuse me, our fall updates for Atom software, because this is just one enhancement that we're adding. We have a lot coming your way. So you will, some pretty amazing ones too, as I showed you that client portal inside. That's going to be great for the support staff. But that we're scheduling that we're trying to do it right after the end of the official filing season, October 15th. So we're shooting for October 16th if everything goes as planned. So just give you a heads up on that. So thank you for your time, and I hope to see everybody on ATOMPay soon. Thank you. Bye.